Hello guys, how's it going? Move this out of the way. Is that okay? So it's not blinding you.
Oh, it's fine.
That's okay. I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about the people on the webinar.
Oh no. That's weird.
I wasn't talking about you. But it's not blinding you anyway, is it?
Yeah, I just got this reflection in my glasses. Oh,
Well, you can move it, my love.
no, it's fine.
All right, guys, how's it? How's it going? Hello, everybody. How's it? How's it? How's it, Andre? Excellent. Lovely to see new people and regulars coming on. Cool. That is fantastic. Hello, Alva and Charlotte. Carolyn, I haven't heard from you forever. Oh my goodness gracious me. Sarb, where have you been? Where have you been? Okay. Right. Okay. All right, guys. Back in action. That's brilliant. Glad to hear it. Awesome. So who's the first time coming on a webinar with me since joining the tribe? Whose first time is it? Henrik, how's it going? Well, oh, Steve, have you not been on a webinar since joining the tribe? We need to do more of these, don't we? We need to do more of these. Sab, yeah, I don't think you have, actually, even though you've been with the tribe for a while. Don't think you have. Okay.
There's a couple of not putting their hands up, like Peter.
Is Peter on?
Driscoll's on, yeah. And Russell.
Oh, why aren't you speaking to me, guys? Speak to me. I get very touchy if no one speaks to me. Alvin, it feels like first time. Okay. Hi, Peter. Hello, Joe. How are you? Cool. It's lovely to see you guys. Okay, we have a lot to get through. Hello, Greg. Noel, first time. The man from Trinidad. How are you? Cheryl, are you on? Is Cheryl Williams on? You got a fellow.
Cheryl's not on yet.
Okay. When hopefully Cheryl will come on shortly. She loves Trinidad. As far as I know, that's where she is from, or she's got a lot of family in Trinidad, so she goes back there quite a lot. In fact, she was due to go back there just when everyone went into lockdown. So, all right, well, it's 7:31. I'm gonna start now. Okay. Matthew, thank you so much. I was just about to say that. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, a couple of things, guys. Some housekeeping. You guys, feel free to chat. Okay, if you've got any comments or whatever it is, feel free to chat, get to know each other, comment. That's fine. What I would like you to do, if you saw Matt's note, if you go down to the bottom of the chat, you'll see there's a drop-down arrow, and it's all panelists, attendees, all panelists or all the panelists and attendees. If you select all panelists and attendees, then everybody, including myself and Tiny, will see your comments. If you just have it all panelists, then only we will see your comments. So we like to encourage people to have all panelists and attendees. Okay. If you've got any particular question, if you want to avoid it getting lost in the chat, put it into the Q&A and Tiny will make sure that I answer it. All right. Hello, Paul. Yeah, so if you could do that. Paul, yeah, you've got all panelist attendees. Cool bananas. The other thing is Tiny's asked me to mention two things before I get on. One, Service Camp is back up and running. It's twice now in the past month or thereabouts. It went down, and we've been using it for almost 3 years, and it's never been down before. So hopefully it's not going to happen again. Yeah, so, but it's back up and running now. The other thing is all brand new traders, brand new tribe members, sorry, guys who've just literally joined this week, last week, all your VPSs are ready, and Tiny has sent you emails. So you need to get in touch so you can get a setup time, a walkthrough, whatever Matt and Tiny are calling it nowadays. You're going to get everything's ready for you. Okay, so we're waiting for you to reach back to us. Tiny has sent an email to you guys. if you haven't seen it, check your junk, check your spam, okay? And then most definitely whitelist our emails. So Matthew's sitting there, eager beaver, ready and waiting to get you guys set up so you can get trading and making money. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, this is going to be a little bit of a palaver because I'm now using my Apple and my Apple doesn't. Okay, good question, Alvin. So Alvin, before we get going, Alvin has to go back to work. Alvin works ridiculous hours. I don't know many people who work as that many hours, but you do, Alvin. So you're going back to work. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I had a webinar recently with Anthony. We'll speak about Anthony in a moment, but he's one of our tribe members, one of our original tribe members, doing extremely well. Okay, and we did a sort of an interview webinar with him about 2-3 weeks ago now. I have not had a minute to upload that recording, okay, because I wanted to create a page. I wanted to create somewhere where it's a go-to place. If you're ever feeling like any inspiration, just go and check it out. So what I'm going to do.
Picture of me on it.
What?
I'll have a big picture of me on it.
Why would I have a big picture of you? Stop interrupting me. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put this webinar and Anthony's webinar on the same page. Okay, so I'm going to put two of them on the same page, and it will be in the next 24 hours, maybe 36 hours thereabouts. Okay, and I will email out. I will put it into Skype. I'll put it into Telegram. I will let you know when it's up and running. Okay, you may need to go back to this a few times. So Ben and Michael, how's it going, guys? Right, all right. So let's have a look here. I'm going to see how this works. I am starving. I should have had something to eat. Okay, what's up?
That's up.
That's up. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go off share. It does this, and now when I go to share it again, it'll give me.
Cheryl Williams is on.
Cheryl, we have a fellow Trinidadian on now. He's just joined the tribe.
Still there.
So
go into presentation.
I'll go to presentation mode. Just give me a sec, guys. Has anyone else used Apple and Zoom?
Apple.
So, because they don't seem to like each other too much. Nope, that's not working.
No.
Okay.
The trick is get it going.
There we go. Now, see, now it shows me. Now it shows me the right one. You're done.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. 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 Okay, so guys, let's get cracking without further ado. Okay, as I always say, you're one belief away. You're one belief away, and that is something that we say all the time when in Tribe of Traders. Okay, it's that one belief. And if you haven't seen Anthony's interview that we did with him the other day, just me and him chatting at a mastermind not so long ago, well, just over a year ago, everything changed for him. It was that belief system changed for him in that moment. And since then, his trading just took off. That was like 4 to 5 years trying. Okay, so, hold on. Hey, my mouse is going all over the place. Okay, right, we always say, Tribe of Traders, we say trading is not just about placing trades, it's about trading in a certain way, and that certain way is modeling the genius trading model. Okay, now as such, given that we are very much into that certain way is modeling the genius trading model, and a lot of that is around mindset, your mindset approach to trading, encompassing so many different facets of that. We now have launched the Genius Trading membership. Now, if you're a tip member, you're a club member, you will have access to that. And how it is structured is it takes you on a success path from like being on the charge level. And this is based on my body of work, the Trilogy of Transformation, Charge Challenges, which some of you club members will know a lot of and a lot about. So where you come in and you might have really struggling with consistency, like almost to the point of wanting to give up at times, and we'll take you right through in this program, this membership program, take you right through to getting consistent, predictable results. where you are actually inspired, your life's inspired, your trading is inspired, everything changes. So that's the journey you will go on in the Genius Trading membership. Now there's a members area, make sure you've got their login to that. There is already a lot of content in there that you need to be going through, you need to address, you need to consume. And there is weekly content being delivered there as well. So, and every week is new content being delivered. It's only like 10 minutes with some worksheets. And those worksheets, you can actually add them to your trade plan. So you can actually, your trade plan could be a working document, a work in progress, and you can expand it out with the information from that is being delivered each week. And it's structured in a way to take you on that 3-stage journey, okay? And then there's the Telegram group where we can connect and you can ask questions and get support and stuff like that. When this is 100% around mindset. So it's nothing to do with strategy, nothing to do with setups or anything like that. It's purely mindset, okay? So there'll be content delivered for 3 weeks, every week. And then the 4th week, we will have a coaching session, fast-paced coaching session. The first one being July 27th, 7:30 at night. Yeah, UK time. We will alternate that. It'll be the last Monday of the month, and we'll alternate it between 7:30 UK time and 6 a.m. UK time. So different people from different parts of the world can access it live, but the recordings will always be uploaded to your members area. Okay. Before I go on, I just want to just again talk about this. One of the reasons some people get confused or some people get frustrated by this, but one of the reasons why we have this is that we have a lot of touch points with myself, Tiny, and the coaches, okay? So there's never, ever, ever a reason for you to feel that you're on your own, you can't get in contact with us, you can't get support. Okay, so we have the Skype group. Guys, if you're new to the tribe, make sure you're in the Tribe of Traders social Skype group, the TIB members Skype. That TIB members is where the recordings go for the 2 live streams every day. Telegram, the Tribe of Traders Telegram group, that anything important that happens in the tribe is also posted there. And that is just in case emails go missing, because we have terrible issue with, and any online business at the moment is having the same issue of email deliverability. You've also got your GTM group as well on Telegram. We have a Facebook group, Trading and Wealth Building. I did go live in there every Friday morning. There's the Tribe of Traders group, and there is also Tribe of Traders Facebook page. And then of course there's support at tribeoftraders.servicecamp.com, which is very well manned and also high level of response. Okay, normal, we say it's 48 hours excluding weekends and bank holidays, but I guarantee you, promise you, you never wait 48 hours. Unless you piss Matt off.
Oh, that's okay, that can piss Matt off. It's mostly piss me off.
All right, okay, so let's get on with this. It's POGO and BUGSY 201. Okay, so guys, it's sort of a combination of a 101 and 201, okay? We are going to be doing this more frequently, okay? That is something that I'm absolutely going to be doing. We have done quite a bit of changes, and changes are still ongoing over the past few months. There's a lot of things we learned during lockdown, and we are actually modifying and tweaking and changing. There'll be quite a few more changes coming up over the next, well, yeah, between now and the end of the year as well. Okay, so what I want to focus on today is selecting high probability setups, okay? Guys who are brand new into the tribe, if I'm speaking a little bit faster, a little bit, you're not quite catching it, don't worry, because there's another 101, which you can actually watch as a precursor to this, and put the 2 together, you'll be flying, I promise you. Just about these 2 together, you'll have everything you need to know. Okay. All right. One of the things, you know, I know there's a lot of traders who just want to look at charts and just want to look at the, you know, the setups and all that sort of stuff. And that's fine. And we'll do a lot of that tonight, I promise you. But here's the thing. You don't get the groundwork done, you're banging your head against a brick wall. I promise you. So if you haven't done the wealth thermometer, you do it. Okay. That's valuable information, valuable content. You get your ass into that content and do it. Okay. Also, you review it every few months, every 6 months even. And we know, Tiny and I know tribe members and clients of mine who do it every 6 months, and every 6 months together with Find Your Number, they're reaching their target. Okay, and again, by the end of tonight's session, you will understand what I'm saying. The extent to which you have clarity is the extent to which you create what you would love, but only to the extent you have clarity. This will give you clarity. And as I say, you cannot be empowered in life unless you're financially empowered. That's a sad fact of life. People may not like it, but it's a fact of life, because all your headspace, your time and space in your head is consumed with getting by. And if you're consumed by just getting by, well, that's what you're all going to do. It's just get by. Okay. I want you to do your number as well. That's a precursor to the success. It's very important. I'm not going to go into what they are. You should know what they are by now. Okay. You need to start the journey to completing out your trade plan. If you do not have a trade plan, at least the bare bones of a trade plan, you're setting yourself up for failure. Over the next, set yourself a target of 6 months to get it sort of built out. I don't expect you to sit down, it's 45 pages template. I expect you to sit down now and get it filled out, but set yourself a target of 6 months to get it sort of really fleshed out. Okay, again, the GTM will help you with that. Trade journal. Everyone's, barring the guys who joined this week or last week, everyone else should have a trade journal. Use it. Okay. I want you also to go and visit in the GTM the session on trade as a business, because this is what the GTM is all about. It's about modeling the success of others, which I've created as the Genius Trading Model, which is number one, trade as a business. You're a money manager first, a trader second, and master one strategy at a time. Do those 3 trainings in the GTM, guys. Do not skip it just because you think, oh yeah, you've heard me say it so many times. Just go and do it. This is what it takes. It doesn't take, I did a session on this a little while ago. It's not something that you can just read once, do once, and then park it, think I've been there, done that, once and done. That's not the way mindset stuff works. You need to revisit it, review it, because you've got years and years and decades and generations and whatnots of habits to break, okay? So really, really, really need to go back and visit it. Until it becomes second nature. I don't know if any of you heard me talking about when lockdown happened, Tiny and I used to eating out once, twice, or 3 times a day sometimes, okay? It was like, because we have a low value on cooking and preparing food, okay? We love nice food, don't get me wrong, low value on preparing it. So, because we love our work, we've got so much to do, so much of pain. But then lockdown happened, then we had to, okay? We couldn't go out and we couldn't get food. I mean, it was a nightmare. So I seem to be spending most of my life and most of my days trying to get food, arrange food, cook food, fill the bloody dishwasher, empty the dishwasher, right? Pain in the ass. I know what you're thinking, what's this got to do with trading? I've got to do everything with trading. I would bloody spend my days in the dishwasher. It felt like all I ever did was sort out the bloody dishwasher. And then by the time the end of lockdown came, it was so second nature. I was like in the flow. It was an opportunity for Tiny and I to chat, degas and everything. And it was fine. It was just one part of our life. That's exactly what your journey into the mindset work is all about. That is exactly what it feels like. It's itchy, scratchy. It's uncomfortable. It feels like, oh, Jesus, I couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be asked. It feels like that. At times you want to give up. All right, because it sort of feels like it gets in the way, but you persist with it, you continue with it, and it becomes a way of life. And that's when the big, big, big shifts start happening. Okay. All right, shall we get on? Can everyone see the screen okay, by the way? So we're going to talk about POGO. Anything I need to look at now? No. All right, so we're going to talk about POGO first. Okay. So what do we need for POGO? We need trend. We need 2 cycles in the direction of trend. Now, everybody who's brand new into the tribe now, I think you've done the GTP, you've done the Genius Trading Program, which included basic training for POGO and BUGSY. So you need 2 cycles in direction of trend. You need 20 and 50 in the direction of trend. At higher high or lower low on the second cycle, you place the alerter, right? Guys who are well used to trading POGO and BUGSY, you're going to learn stuff through this. It's not just for beginners, so don't be switching your mind off thinking you know all this. There's no harm in reaffirming stuff, okay? Your first alert is when price interacts with 20. Your second alert is when the 20 and the 50 EMAs are in the same direction on the 30-minute as the 4-hour. Do you place the executor? That's the question, because this is what this is all about, is selecting high probability setups. So when you get that second alert, you check the 4-hour chart. Is it still trending since between the first time it alerted and the second time it alerted? Is it still trending? Is it a tradable cycle? Is it consolidating? Is it good or bad consolidation? What is good or bad consolidation? We'll go into that a bit later. The other thing is, again, write this down. Some people are still struggling with this. If you get your second alert simultaneously, and we'll go into this a little bit later as well, if you get your second alert almost simultaneously as the first alert with POGO, that is an indication to you that the likelihood is the phase 2 on the 4-hour, in other words, the pullback to the 20 EMA, has been so shallow that the EMAs have not actually crossed over on the 30-minute. Okay, we need the EMAs to cross over on the 30-minute because that's confirmation of a phase 2, and when it crosses back into the same direction as the 4-hour, it's confirmation of phase 1 on the 4-hour coming back into play. Okay. This is something I see over and over again. People confusing trend with range, where there's cycles, but it's actually ranging. Okay, so what is a trend for you? What determines a trend for you? That's what you need to be getting very clear on. How are you going to identify when it's ranging and when it's trending? Okay, one may say it's ranging, another may say it's trending, and that's okay. That's okay. But you need to have a ballpark or a framework within that you're going to sort of like stick within that will tell you straight away, is it ranging or is it trending? Okay, don't try and curve it, POGO, into a ranging market. It will not work. You will lose money. Okay, we will get clearer on this as we go forward. Okay, now POGO is, as I've said already, when you get 2 cycles on the when you've got a set high, when you get a higher high or a lower low on what looks like a second forming cycle, that's when you place POGO alerter on. Okay, not before it, otherwise it becomes distraction. It's very important that you're disciplined about this. I know some people tend to put it on before it's made the higher high or lower low. Okay. The other thing is, especially if you're starting off, or you may actually put this down as your as one of your high probability rules or your high probability setups, is a 5-bar cycle. So in this 5-bar cycle, for example, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the high, you'll have 2 bars that break the low. So you've got that low that breaks that, you've got that low that breaks that. The same as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, here's the thing. If you're more advanced, more consistent, more, and if you have a higher level of what we call knowledge-based intuition, or you'll hear it, KBI, and we'll be talking about that quite a lot in the various coaching. If you've got a high level of knowledge-based intuition and you are very intuitive with your trading, you're more heart-based, less brain-based, okay, you will not need absolutes when it comes to trading. You will not need, this is very important, you will not need to be binary when it comes to setups. Does that make sense? Can everyone give me a thumbs up or a Y for yes in the chat box if that makes sense? I need you to understand this, okay? You do not, the more you trade from the heart, the more you trade from a sense of knowing and or from the intuitive base or from knowledge-based intuition, any of those language you want to use, the more you trade from that, the less binary you are going to need to be. Do I have a lot of yeses, Tony? All right, guys, come on. I'm not moving on until you start playing the game now. Come on, I need more. I want you to, if you don't understand it, now's your time to ask me these questions. Okay, let's see if I can. Come on, my chat box, there it is. Yes, 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 yes. Makes sense. Hello, Kim. Okay, okay. Good, good, good. Excellent. Still yes coming in. Awesome. Perfect. It's really, really important. If you don't understand it, now's your time to ask. Because when you find yourself getting tense about somebody who took a trade and yeah, but it didn't meet the rules, or didn't meet the rules according to you, whatever it is, you need to understand that there's another component. It's like it often happens to me when I'm doing a live stream. I say, well, I'm not comfortable with that, or yeah, it meets the rules, but it's not comfortable. There's a part of it that you can't explain, and that's my relationship with the chart. For you, it might be different. It doesn't mean that you don't take it. It doesn't mean you do take it. Okay, there is no verbally explaining that, but you can, when you're starting off, in order to get consistency, and so in order to, because what, and we'll talk about this a bit later, is your role is to get your target, but also to get an average success rate. And the more you can get, the more you will get that average success rate is based on how consistent you are. So if you're consistently taking the same type of setups and you adding into that mix the knowledge-based intuition, or the sense of knowing, or your intuition, the more consistent and successful you will be, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I'm not saying this is a rule as it comes to trading POGO, all right? That's important, but this is the minimum as a starting point, which you can actually work with, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Another good something that you might want to put into the mix as well is, what does the ATMA look like when you're getting your second alert? Okay, as the ATMA formed like loops like this, or is it just barely dipping like these? See these ones here? Is it barely dipping? You might want a substantial, like a dip. It's a good dip, because I'm very visual. So for me, one of the things that really got me on a flying with POGO was actually using the ATMA as a visual confirmation of a decent sized phase 2. Whereas if I was taking this, I'd be thinking, well, is that phase 2? Is it possible going to be going deep? Is it possible it's going to be going deeper, despite the fact that the 8 and 20 may have crossed over on the 30-minute? Is it going to just come back, head off again on a, not really a phase 2, but actually head off into a phase 1 type thing? Or is it going to go deeper into a phase 2? So I tend to use the ATMA.
Good question.
Yeah.
So I want to know, is this on the 4 hour or the 30?
Oh, 4 hour. 4 hour. So again, test it, see what it works for you guys. I like that one. And I think there's a few guys who I shared this with this time last year, they started using it, and it made a difference for them. Again, it will help you be consistent. So if you say, right, I want 5 bars and it needs to be a decent sort of like curvature on the ATMA, that they're the POGOs I'm going to take. Now, there's 2 reasons for that. One, you're being consistent in the type of cyclicity that you're taking, so you can tweak. Right, when you're being consistent, you can tweak. But the other benefit to that is, as well, it's a good process of elimination, because sometimes, admittedly not recently, when I say not recently, I'm talking about in the past month, normally you may have way more potential setups than you can actually take. So how do you eliminate? We do talk about that a little bit later as well. So this might be one of them, okay? But whatever you do it consistently. The other thing is very, very important is rhythm. Remember, we're trading trend. So the more rhythm there is in that trend, the better. So Kevin calls it mirroring. Are the phase 1, phase 2s mirroring each other? Is there similarity between the style, the shape, the size of the phase 1, phase 2s? That is really something to be looking for. And is there rhythm in the trend? The more rhythm there is in the trend, the better. And there is that for me is an absolute. I need to see rhythm. For me, the chart needs to feel calm, okay, as opposed to headache material. I mean, some people, oh my gosh, some people place trades on headache material. Now I know we have nothing on our charts except EMAs and candlesticks. All right, that's brilliant. I mean, compared to some people who join the tribe who use 5, 6, 7, 8 different indicators and look for confluence and all that sort of stuff. And when they join the tribe, they get rid of all that, don't you? Absolutely. Right, get rid of all that. But then add to that, you trade a chart that's calm, okay, not headache material. Does the chart make you feel calm? Because remember, we trade from the heart, not the head. Okay, that's very important. We trade from the heart, not the head. The more chaotic it is, the more we're having to question, the more we're having to double guess, right? Whereas if this is what you're looking at, that smoothness, the easier it will be to feel into it. Does that make sense? So there's a very real reason why we do that. So let's talk about consolidation quickly. So you've got the 4 hour, you've got 2 cycles, you've got the EMAs in order in the direction of trend. And then you get consolidation. And there's good and there's bad consolidation. And this is very, very, very important. So here's the 4 hour, the one you've just seen on the previous slide. That yellow is in here. It's all in here, right? Roughly, this is not absolute. There's too many bars in there, but just to give you an idea, right? This is absolute. This is like the phase 2, where the EMAs are in the opposite direction on the 30-minute. Then you've got consolidation, but that consolidation is happening when the EMAs are well apart. Okay, there's absolutely no indication of phase 1 starting yet on the 30-minute, is there? Can you see that? Then all of a sudden you see, then phase 1 starts, and confirmation of phase 1 on the 4 hour is when the EMAs cross over, and this is the point you get your second alert. Okay, that second alert is when you're actually going to then open your chart, check the 4 hour, open the 30-minute to place POGO, and cast an eye over the chart. And you'll see 100%, no worries. I'm very happy to be in this trade. The EMAs are well apart, as opposed to bad consolidation, where you've got the EMAs who are running or kissing each other and running just about parallel to each other. And this can go on for quite a while before you actually get the second alert. And whilst it looks grand and dandy on the 4 hour, when you open the 30-minute to place the executor, are you going to want to be in that? Because right here, the EMAs cross over, you place it, and almost straight away, POGO will execute, likely because the EMAs are hugging and price will interact with the 20, right? But who knows if phase 1 is coming back in or not? Or is this consolidation, hesitation, is there going to be a trend change or what? This is the flip of a coin. We don't do flips of the coins. Okay, we stack the probabilities in our favor. We take high probability setups. This is without doubt a low probability setup. Does that make sense to anybody? Any questions at this point? No questions? Cool. Okay, then obviously the things to avoid are things like 1 bar pullbacks, or where you get a price spike, where you get like quite a considerable bar that breaks the previous high, where you now you have alerter on and price comes back and interacts with the 20, but it's been all inside bars. You don't want to be taking those. Now, sometimes they work, sometimes they're fine, right? Sometimes they just continue on and price continues and gives you great results. But it is my experience that they're more unpredictable. And whilst, you know, because the thing is with this tribe of traders, what we look for is high probability trades. So high, we want to we just want to take the trades that have a very high success rate. Okay, this, whilst you can still be profitable taking these trades, you're going to need to take more trades. And again, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the more we are, the more we want to reduce the amount of time we're at the charts. We want to reduce the number of trades we take. That's why we want to increase our success rate, and we want to make sure that trading always works for us and not the other way around. And we always want a very high return on investment of our time when it comes to trading. And the benefit of that is that it increases your net worth, right? Because your wealth building is growing while spending less and less time on it. That grows self-worth, grows confidence and certainty. And this is why I say avoid these lower probability setups. And also when I produce those results every 2 weeks now, when I do go over the market and look at the valid setups, the markets that created for every 2 weeks, these are ignored. Okay, so they're not tested, and they're not tested because they proved to be initially not highly reliable. Hopefully that makes sense.
There is a question.
Okay.
So maybe you want to repeat the question if people can't hear me. So it's from Anthony Cook.
Hi, Anthony.
So in bad consolidation, we wait for a bigger pullback or a new high in an uptrend, for example?
Yeah, I walk away. So completely leave it. So if it was on my watch list for the morning and then I get the second alert, go to open it and I see that bad consolidation, I absolutely walk away. I don't even worry about it again. I'll wait for the next cycle. So no worries.
Okay, and then there's one that's coming from Patricia in the chat. What are your thoughts about smaller inside bars with the bigger bars bounced off the 20?
Oh, I'd have to see it. So say that again, bigger.
What are your thoughts about smaller inside bars with the bigger bars bounced off the 20? Isn't that what your picture was showing?
I don't know. Is this it? Like this? I'd have to see it.
One bar pullback. Patricia's saying.
I don't understand, sorry. You'd have to give me an example and we'd go and take a look at it. I'm very visual, Patricia. I can't picture that. It's because I'm seeing, what I'm hearing is the same as these two images, and both of them I wouldn't take. So I'm not.
Patricia will try to find it.
Okay, and then if you don't find it now, Patricia, don't worry. Put it in. Find it later and put it into the Skype group. Okay. So if you don't feel under pressure to find it now, so I will know the question. I'll know what you mean. Just ask me in there. Okay. Oh yes, you can count the cycles before there's a crossover. Okay, so this particularly for the new guys, if you're looking for 2 cycles, you can actually, it's possible to have the first cycle. Okay, if it's certainly by the time the second cycle is formed and it looks like it's trend, you can actually count the first cycle before the crossover. Okay, also on that, also again, this is consistent with the valid setups analysis I do every 2 weeks. The quality of the first cycle is not essential. It just needs to be a cycle. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, when I say a tradable cycle, it needs to have the basics met. Okay, the previous cycle can be vague even. All right, it just has to have a higher high, or some sort of high, low, higher high, higher low, or the other way around, low, lower high, lower low. Does that make sense? So okay, so replacing POGO on the chart after it expires, things to look out for is consolidation. If you are having to replace it, you will get an alert on your phone to say that it has expired. You then go back, you have the choice to go back to the 4-hour, check the 4-hour. You're going to check consolidation. Has it consolidated? Because there's a reason why it hasn't executed. One is consolidated, or in some form or another, or trend has changed, or it's gone a deeper phase. It's not actually, it's gone back into the opposite direction, probably a trend change or deeper phase 2, whatever it is, right? So what you need to check is consolidation before you replace POGO, and you can actually do that. You can actually replace POGO, that's perfectly okay. as long as the 4-hour setup is still right and still you've got, if it's consolidation, you've got good consolidation, not bad consolidation. The other thing to consider is how far has price moved into phase one before it expired. If it's moved like quite far into phase one, do you want to be in it? Because remember, we're only looking for 30 pips for that first trade, okay? So how we judge how far it's moved is you're going to see here when we've got consolidation, price has hardly moved in the 4-hour. This is phase two, bit of consolidation before it's actually moved up into phase one. There's the phase two represented on the 30-minute. There's the apex of phase two. Okay, price is phase one has happened because as we've got evidence of phase one because the EMAs have crossed over, but it's moved considerably up to this point before it's come back. Now, if it expires up here, do you want to be putting it on at this late stage? And what is the ballpark? And we have a ballpark of between 65 and 85 pips. You know, that's something you might want to measure from the apex to from the body of the candle, not, we don't include the wick, from the body of the candlestick, that's at the apex, to the highest point it got into phase one. How many pips? If it's 30 pips, fine, put it back on, that's no problem. If the 4-hour is still looking like a tradable setup for you. If it's gone 100 pips or it's gone 120, 140 pips, like it often does with Kiwi and Pound, do you really want to be in it when it's gone that far into phase one? Equally, if it has broken the previous high on the 4-hour, if price has actually broken the previous high on the 4-hour, you don't want to go back in it. You want to place an alerter and then wait for another setup. Okay. Okay, so guys, particularly recently, we have with POGO is price actions tend to be somewhat more volatile. So with Pound and Kiwi, my ballpark is 90 to 100 pips, but with the others, it's up to 75 pips nowadays. That's pretty much how I have been trading it, and also consistently testing it again every couple of weeks. So first question you need to be asking yourself when you go to look at a chart to trade, whether it be morning or evening, whatever time of day you need to ask yourself this question every single time. The first thing you ask yourself before anything else, before you get, because remember, we need to trade what we see. Okay, we need to simultaneously simulate what the information the chart is telling us. We need to allow the chart to tell us what we're looking at, rather than us project onto it what we think we're looking at. That's what I mean by simultaneously assimilating the information the chart's telling you. Okay, be open for that. Abdicate, consciously and deliberately abdicate the need to be right. Guys, you guys, I know you struggle with this. Women, we don't struggle with it too much, okay, at all, right? But guys do struggle with it. And if it is something that you struggle with, I'm not going to name names, but I'm thinking of names, okay? If it's something that you struggle with, the need to be right, okay, and you will know if you do struggle with this, I want you to trial something. I want you to trial abdicating that responsibility to the chart, okay? Abdicate it. And the way in which you abdicate it is say, okay, you tell me the chart, let the chart tell you, okay? Rather than you feeling the responsibility to try and figure it out, okay? Does that make sense? I promise you that makes a big difference to people. Abdicate the responsibility to need to figure out if it's right or wrong, if you're right or wrong, right? It's not your responsibility, it's the market, it's the chart, okay? It's their responsibility, it's its responsibility. All your job is to simultaneously assimilate the information the chart's telling you, whatever that is, in that moment, that's what it is. Don't second guess it. Do not second guess it. The moment you second guess it, let that be an alarm for you. Move on. Move the hell on. Because guess what? Even if you got it wrong and you got it, you know, like you didn't second guess it. You maybe thought you second guessed it, right? And it went on and made a 5 to 1, a 10 to 1. It doesn't bloody matter. I promise you it doesn't matter, because there's plenty more where that came from. Okay? So even if you have an inkling that you've second guessed it, move the hell on. All right, do not second guess. Learn, practice, teach yourself to simultaneously assimilate the information the chart's telling you. Is it ranging? Is it trending? Is it bullish or bearish? What is the story the chart is telling you? Read it like a storybook. Okay, read it like a storybook. The more you can read the chart like a storybook, the more you're able to allow the chart to tell you what it's doing. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to pause and have some water and ask you guys to give me a yes if it makes sense. Please. If I can get my mouse to work. This is your chance to tell me that that makes sense. It's also my chance to make sure you're still awake and I haven't put you to sleep. Okay, perfect sense. Good stuff. But easier said than done. No, not really. Who said that? There's questions of Mike. No, not easier said than done. Promise you, Mike. It's like the dishwasher story. Remember I told you the dishwasher at the beginning? It's like that at first, okay? And so what that you, you know, if you miss a couple of trays because you're doing it, because it's a bit dishwashery, okay? So what? It doesn't matter. In the longer scheme of things, you don't judge yourself, and your life is not judged based on the 1 or 2 or 3 trades. It's based on the sum of trades you take in your trading journey, which in the Tribe Traders, we suggest 5 years, okay? 5 years is a minimum, right? 5 years is a minimum. 5 years to get financial resilience, to get financial security. That financial security gives you freedom, okay? So if your freedom is worth it, you will put in the effort. It's itchy scratchy. It's shitty at first, right? Because it seems like such a schlep. All right, I promise you, I know it. I really do. But if your freedom is worth it, you're going to do it. And it's going to be, as I say, itchy scratchy at first. But then all of a sudden you find they're doing it naturally. It'll come to you like it was emptying the dishwasher at the end of lockdown for me. Okay, so cool. Possible points to consider as a process of elimination. Okay, these are possible points you want to consider as a possible points of consideration. What you're going to do is you're going to probably, what I will actually do is I will take some of these slides and I'll make a PDF out of it. How about that? I'm going to take some of these slides, I'm going to make a PDF out of them, and I'm going to put it onto the page where the recording is, so you can download it. How's that? Does that sound fair? So you can actually then have reminders of what to make a note of and start looking and feeling into what works for you, okay? Everyone think that's a good idea? So here's possible points to consider as a process of elimination. Tiny, I just need a reminder. Okay, so the quality of the cycles, as I said, that's an important thing. That's like, again, these are some, you might not use all of these, you might use some of them, but go with what works for you in your heart, not your head. Okay, here's the thing. This is what I call the 20 of the 80-20 side of trading, right? We're being technical, all right? But like anything, with the technical, there has to be some of the mindset stuff. So I do talk about mindset. Can't separate. That's trying to separate the inseparable. But the more you use the GTM, the more you actually partake in that, the more you'll start understanding the language, and the more, because it's small bite-sized chunks being delivered every week, and you start incorporating that into your life, into your trading, it will become a natural part of the process. So therefore you will start learning more. It will feel like less of a chore, and it will feel more of the process in mastering the intuitive side of trading. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So therefore, like these sort of points that I'm asking you to consider as a process of elimination, you will feel into them. You will intuitively know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So quality of cycles is an important one. As I said, is there rhythm? And are they mirroring? Are the cycles mirroring each other? Does the chart make you feel calm, or is it headache material? How many cycles have there been? Now, generally speaking, on average, and a trend these days in the 4 hour, you get 4, maybe 5 on average. You know, is it the 8th cycle and you're only getting into trading it now? For example, you've missed all the previous cycles. Now, Joran, for example, he would say, well, if it's a valid setup, doesn't matter if it's 8 and I haven't been on the previous, he would take it anyway. That was his approach to it. You know, others who are more cautious, they say no one's just done 4 or 5 and they haven't taken any of the previous cycles, they're going to stay out. For them, the probability is lower. That makes sense. Okay, the other points to consider is, what does the 30-minute chart look like? And the only reason you're looking at the 30-minute, and one reason only, and that is consolidation, unless you're putting POGO back on, in which case you look at consolidation and how far prices moved into phase 1. Does that make sense? That's important. Okay. Currency strength. Steve Crosby, are you on? Can you, Steve, are you Stephen or Steve? Because every time you log on to a webinar, it's Stephen, and I'm not sure if it's Stephen. I always call you Steve, so I'm not sure it's it. Like, Steve has this down to a T. He does so well with BUGSY, and he naturally considers currency strength and weakness. Like, that's something that's an important part for Steve. Currency familiarization is, I cannot tell you how important that is. For example, Anthony Dan, who many of you were at the webinar we did with him the other day, a couple of weeks ago, he only trades the majors. That's it, the 7 majors, and he only trades BUGSY, and his equity curve is beautiful, right? He's profitable months every month. He is familiar with the majors. He has a high level of familiarization. So, for example, if I've got sort of 5 or 6 setups, I tell you without it, and they're all identical. They're all got equal. They're all high probability. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt which instruments I'll take over others because of my level of familiarization with those instruments. And I'll tell you which ones I will dump like a hotcake because I don't have a high success rate with those instruments. That's just the way it is. We will gravitate to some. Anthony, for example, Anthony Cook, as far as I can remember, is it USD CAD or USD Swiss for you? For me, it's Euro GBP. That's my nemesis. Anthony, I think you said it was USD CAD. I think it was your nemesis. We all have them, and it's okay. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. It'd be that nemesis will come from some belief that you have, and you know what? Sometimes it's okay to have a weakness because it doesn't impact your target, doesn't impact your goal, it doesn't impact the journey to creating the reality of your goal, right? But sometimes if it does, then it's important. If it's an unsupportive belief, you need to reframe it, you need to change it, you need to address it, you need to unblock it. But if it's something like one currency out of 30 that you have a nemesis about, or you've got a challenge about, leave it, don't waste time with it. Makes sense. The other one is, have I made so far on this cycle on this trend as well? That might be something that that you consider. So it's not something I consider too much anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I think if I was away on holiday and I didn't trade for a while and I came back and there had been good trend and it had been going for a while, I wouldn't get in at that point. But that would be the only time that I wouldn't really. But for some people, it is something that they would consider and feel uncomfortable. Another thing is scaling. Are you scaling? Are you looking to scale? The sweet spot, guys, and this is what I would love you to have as a target. I would love you to have as a target is to be able to reach your target, trading 1, 2, maybe 3 instruments in like maybe anything between 8 and 10 or 8 and 11 POGO and BUGSYs. And you do that by scaling in and stalking. Okay, I'm not going to have time to go into that. We're already an hour in. I've still got a lot to go through. Not going to, but I'm going to be doing another POGO 101 or 201 in about a month's time or less. And I'm going to be focusing that one a lot more on scaling, stalking, and trade manager. Okay. I wanted to make sure I put a really good foundation in, and we'll do another one in a few weeks' time. Is that a good deal? Because I just thought I can't fit everything in. Anyway, it'd be too much overload. Cheryl would be cross with me because she tries to make sure that I always make sure we take breaks. Cheryl on?
Yep, yeah. There's both Cheryls on.
Oh, okay. I meant Cheryl Williams. So.
Yeah, she's on.
Yeah, because whenever I think of taking a break, think of that. Okay, how far has price moved into phase one is something else that you will need to consider as well. And we've covered that quite a lot already. Okay, there are 3 beliefs we take to the market every single time. Who can tell me what they are? I'm going to take another water. Who can tell me what they are? The 3 beliefs we take to the market every single time we sit down to trade, without doubt, without check, without fail, every single time. You can tell me what they are. I'm taking water.
Do you need a chocolate now?
No, I'm fine. CAD. Oh, it's CAD for Anthony. Anyone going to tell me what they are? Crickets. I think the coaches are leaving it to the others. Okay, well, I'm going to move on then. Strategy. That's the first belief that we bring to the market. We know the strategy has rules, right? We know the strategy those rules are based on certain beliefs. Okay, that's the first one. Very important to understand this. And that's, for example, POGO is based on 2 cycles, EMAs in order and price bouncing off to 20 or the 50 EMA, okay? Or the 50, all right? Can actually go down to the 50 as long as it doesn't break the previous high or low of the previous cycle, right? So strategy rules, but they have been tested over and over and over again. Okay, they've been proven, it's been tried, tested, high probability that the beliefs around those rules will pay off, right? So the next one is situational. So whatever we are feeling in that moment when we're trading. So we're getting up to trade in the morning. Have we had a bad night? Have we had nightmares? Have the kids been sick? Are we stressed about the meeting we've got? Are we stressed about getting to work? Are we stressed about the news or whatever it might be? That's situational. And that is going to be impacting your beliefs when you sit down to trade. And you're going to add that to the beliefs we have that are proven and tested for the strategy. And you're going to marry those 2 together, and you are now trading an untested strategy, which will also compounded with the fact that they will be different every day. So your situational beliefs change from day to day. One day you might be fine, you might be absolutely 100% inspired, you be absolutely top of the world, feeling like $1 million, and you're totally in tune with the market, and the beliefs are on the strategy, and you'll find the next day you're grumpy, you've had a bad day, a bad night, you've argued with your partner, whatever it is. Now you're going to be trading differently, and those results are now no longer consistent. So how are you going to know what to tweak, how to tweak? Get me? The next one is inherent. That's like deep-seated stuff like beliefs about your relationship with money, your money blocks, your wealth blocks, beliefs about yourself, beliefs about your self-worth, perceptions you have about experiences you've had in your life. So they're inherent, they're deeper work. That's something that you will not be able to do on the go. Your situational beliefs, you can actually, by getting trade ready, so in other words, letting go of all of that, getting yourself into an inspired state, you can get yourself into a place where your situation is congruent or is optimal for your trading. But nothing but doing the mindset, the deeper work will actually shift those inherent beliefs. So if you believe money should be hard to make, if you believe money is bad, if you believe you don't deserve money, if you believe that you should be poor, if you have shame or guilt associated with anything to do with your life, you are going to sabotage. You're going to set up unconscious behaviors that will sabotage your trading. This is the power of the mindset, and this is why it's so important to get this right. Then there's BUGSY. Right, we need trend, we need momentum, we need the 8, 20, and 50 in order of trend. Okay, with momentum, we've got the type of momentum we need, and this is something that a lot of people are missing, the type of momentum we need. And I think we talked about this on I can't remember if it was the New Trader training or Tech Intensive recently with Jerry. We need a momentum that sort of the sort of momentum that will last for days. Now, we don't know that at the beginning, do we? All right, we don't know. We can't say, oh, this is momentum, it's going to last for days. We have no clue about that. That's okay. This is why I say don't get in too early, right? Just because you think it's going to be momentuming doesn't mean it is. So miss it. Don't take it. It's okay. Because the momentum we want is the momentum that's likely to go on for days. Does that make sense? Seasoned BUGSY traders, does that make sense? I don't expect the new guys to necessarily completely understand what I'm saying now, but I want you to understand this. Do not be afraid of missing a BUGSY or two, because if there's momentum, it will continue for days. And that's the type of BUGSY setup we want to go for. Right? Have I got some yeses there?
You have some yeses.
Cool. All right. I really want you to bear that in mind. I think it's very important. It's an important aspect to BUGSY to get your head around. Doesn't matter if we miss the first one or two. It doesn't matter, because if we do and it turned around and went, even despite the fact that it may have been profitable, it wasn't the ideal setup. It wasn't a high probability. We want momentum, nice momentum, this sort of momentum. You're right. This sort of momentum goes on for days, and we want to be getting in on those. We want to be scaling in on those ones. Consistent bars that cause the momentum and we gauge the quality of that momentum by the smoothness of the ATMA. Again, it's all visual. Okay? We don't need anything else to tell us. We don't need any other indicators. We need nothing else to tell us about momentum or quality of momentum, just simply the smoothness of the ATMA. We do not want this mess. Okay? You might get a little like this, little itsy bitsy here, this momentum, but that's not BUGSY. That's like, I don't know, that's like, I don't know, it's like stealing a kiss before you actually went on a date type thing, you know? So it's rather wait for evidence that we have rhythm. And hey, if it looks like it has to you and you haven't taken it because you don't want to miss out, and it doesn't continue on that momentum, no big deal, it's okay. But having that viewpoint on your BUGSY will stop you getting in too early. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, the type of momentum we want to be getting in is when the ATMA is really smooth. Now, I understand that sometimes when you get in on a BUGSY, it is smooth, and when by the time your trade executes, the ATMA is not smooth. That's okay. It's all right. It doesn't matter. But you don't want to be going in when the ATMA is already curved, right? Where it looks like it could become more POGO-esque. Yeah, you don't want to. Now, this is important. Those of you who are seasoned BUGSY traders who have rhythm with BUGSY, you will find they do them, like Stuart. I think Stuart takes a few of those. I think Lucia does as well. There's a couple of guys who actually will take the ones that curve a bit, but that's okay because they have mastered the basics of BUGSY. Myself, I only take these. Only take the ones that are dead flat, because there's so many opportunities with BUGSY. That's just the way it is. Okay, so they're the ones you want to go for. Stay away from the ones where the ATMA has kinked, bent, gone backwards, whatever. You don't need to take them. There's plenty of others for you to take. All right, the past month. Now let's talk about the past month. The past month has been a bit challenging. First 2 weeks in June were absolutely phenomenal. Last 2 weeks in June and the first couple of weeks in July have been not great. And that happens sometimes. Like guys who've been in the tribe for a while, you remember June, where are we now, 2018, June 2018, that was brilliant, wasn't it? Last year it was really bad. Sorry?
I think last year was.
Last year was pretty poor as well. I think the year before that it was good. 2018 was great. Last year was really bad this time as well. You get it. There will be about a month to 2 months in total where POGO and BUGSY are challenging to trade. Your job is to feel into that and don't try and force it. It's okay. It's really okay that that happens. The market just does what it does. Also remember, the market reflects human sentiment, okay? It's like human behavior, right? So we are going through a difficult time. The market's going to be difficult right now. So be okay with that. Don't get despondent. Don't judge yourself based on that. The market's just doing its thing. And this is one of the things that we do is, I'm just going to segue here slightly. We need certainty, okay? That's the way we operate. The more we are in our head, the more certainty we need. So we lock into certainty. The more we're okay not to have certainty, the more opportunities we will see. So when you lock into an opportunity, when you're seeing that there's like really hard couple of weeks, or it's really, there's not a lot of opportunities, and you lock into that to get certainty, that's all you will see. And it will feel like that's all there ever is. Whereas if you stay above that, acknowledge it for what it is, just a little bit of an itchy scratchy time, you will not get tied into locking down, I suppose, the quantum field into that minute, where that becomes an absolute for you. It feels all consuming. You will see it for what it is, it's just passing. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's very, very important that when it is not at its optimum, when the markets are not flowing, you're not seeing lots of opportunities, remain above it. Don't get tied into it. See it for what it is. That too will pass. Okay. It's not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on your ability to trade. It's not your reflection on whether trading works or not. Because guys, trading's been around since biblical days. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so another wonderful trick with BUGSY is obviously to stalk. So in other words, scale in. So once your trade is, if you've got good momentum that looks like it's really going and not stopping anytime soon, when your trade executes, you'll get an alert on your phone. Just go back and place BUGSY alerter back on, and then the likelihood is often high, often, that your first trade on that first BUGSY will have got to 1-to-1, your second trade is running, and stop loss having moved to break even, then you go and place BUGSY alerter, and then if it alerts and gives you a second opportunity, you scale in. Okay, that's the sweet spot when you're scaling in and stalking one or two instruments when trading between BUGSY and POGO, Chances are, if you take high probability or if you take valid BUGSY setups and they lose, the chances are it becomes a POGO. Don't be afraid to take that POGO just because your BUGSY lost. Okay, important.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
Mike Slade wanted to know, can the wicks on the candles on a BUGSY trade across the 8 EMA? Yeah, as long as they're like nice, small, consistent. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so one thing I want you to do is important, very important. We're going to go on more technical stuff in a minute, but I need you to figure out, what are you starting with? What is your target? Again, you get your target from your number program. How much will you top up your account by each month? Okay, again, do that. Do the wealth thermometer and your what is your number program, trade plan program. You will know what I'm talking about, because if you're not topping up your account every month, you're missing out on something very valuable, because what it will do for your mindset, as well as double compounding your account. Okay, what is the percentage return you need each month? What is your average success rate? I urge you to focus on getting an average success rate, guys. Very, very important. Then reverse engineer that, how many trades you need to take. So important. This is the more mindset stuff. This is the quality of the information and the training and the teaching and the mentoring and the coaching we will be doing in the GTM. This is very, very important. Master this, get this right. That's your, in my opinion, you're 80 to 90% the way there to being successful. The actual act of trading comes naturally when you have everything else in place. The act of trading is, being successful in trading, honestly, is a byproduct of state. Okay, it happens naturally. Okay, there are two web pages. I'm going to put those links. I don't want to go into. I was going to go into them now, but I'm not.
I'm running out of time. Okay, I will put those links into the page where the recordings are. There's the links to the actual calculator and also working out how many trades you need to take in a month. As I said, everything is meaningless if you don't master the mindset work, guys, I promise you. Okay, we're going to go on to the quiz now. Is this a valid setup for POGO? Matt, I've got to say thank you so much for working with us on this one, and Tiny for setting it up. Who did the quiz? Did everyone do the quiz? Okay, is this a valid setup? Any takers on this? Any valid setup? What is it? Can you monitor that time? Because I can't have the chat open.
Valid, yes, to the quiz. So guys, put in a
yes or no.
Yes or no for this question. Is this a valid POGO setup? Everyone take part, please.
Yeah, Y or N?
Y or N is fine.
Yep, hell yes. Okay, yeah, good. Excellent, well done. Yes, it is, absolutely. Well done. And this is a valid POGO. BUGSY, I need you to be fast with me here, guys. We've still got a fit to go. Hannah, can you read them out to me?
Yes, no. Yes, no, yes, no.
No is correct. No. Well done. What is this chart telling you? What is this chart telling you? Bugsy's removed. What?
Yeah, this is Bugsy.
Bugsy's removed because price interacted with the 20 on the 4 hour. That's what you will get, guys. But you will probably say, why did my Bugsy take? It's because price interacted with the 20 on the 4 hour. When it does that, if you've got a Bugsy on your chart and price interacts with the 20 on the 4 hour, it's going to remove because it's saving you, because it's not tested for that type of price action. It's a momentum strategy. So if price is pulled back beyond the 8 towards 20, it's no longer a momentum, is it? So it removes itself. All right, that's what that's telling you. That's why it does. Is this a valid Bugsy? Any yes coming in?
Not yet. Okay, starting coming in. Yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
The odd no.
Oh, that is a valid Bugsy, guys. That is a lovely, straight, beautiful 8. That would be about almost the first one I would take on that trend. Okay, this one, is that a valid POGO? Would you take that as a POGO right now? This probably caught a couple of people in the quiz.
So we got a lot of no's coming in.
Cool, excellent, well done. Well done. Is that a valid POGO?
Lots of no's coming in.
Cool. Well done. Is that a valid Bugsy? Now,
a lot of them saying Tiny is king coming in.
Is that a valid Bugsy?
Oh, yes, is coming in.
Excellent. So you see here, that was the first one. That this was Matt. He thought he was saying he's going to show how you can stalk. So this is the first one. And that was the second one. That's what I mean about stalking. You don't want to be, just because you're in that trade, you don't want to be missing this one, do you? You want to be bleeding that momentum for as much as you can get. Okay. So yes, it is. Is that a valid Bugsy, guys?
Lots of no's.
Absolutely. You don't want to be taking that as a Bugsy. Is this a valid POGO?
We didn't. Yes, no, yes, no.
All right, for guys, who? Stop it. Okay, guys, this will be yes and no depending on how you trade. Okay, for the brand new guys, new traders, and you would most likely say no because there's not the 5-bar rule. Is that there's only 1 bar that breaks the low of that. Okay, and that's this one. All right, but it is technically still a valid POGO. Okay, actually technically is a valid POGO. So if you got that wrong, doesn't matter. If you said no, it's not, it's okay. All right, it's really okay. This just goes to show how you can have some leeway, and different people will see different things. Is that a valid Bugsy?
So we get lots of yeses.
Brilliant. Is this a valid POGO?
Lot of comments.
Yes. No, Matt, I think that was like a bit too obvious. Were you going easy on the guys here? Is that a valid BUGSY? I think Matt was wanting to go easy on you guys. Is that a valid BUGSY there?
A lot of no's. One's a yes and a letter, a lot more no's.
It's not a valid BUGSY. Would you put an alert on that? No, I wouldn't waste time putting an alert on that, guys. Wouldn't waste time. There's no trend. Remember, you need trend and momentum. Trend first, followed by momentum. I wouldn't waste my time putting a alert on that. Okay, what is the chart telling you here? What's the chart telling you? Tony, we didn't do a quiz. Can you?
Sorry?
I said we were going to have a winner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, it's too late now.
What is the chart telling you here? What have we got, Tony?
We got wrong time frame, BUGSY removed, waiting on phase 2 bigger, BUGSY removed, wrong time frame.
Okay, guys, what I want you to look at here is BUGSY is removed on the wrong time frame. Why is that? Can anyone see why is that? Because this is part being able to see this quick. The more 100%, it's sitting on the 30-minute chart. Okay, that's right. The more we're going to be doing a lot more quizzes, a lot, and it's going to be getting harder. And the reason why I want you to do this is I want you to be simultaneously simulating the information the chart's telling you. Okay, so you probably won't even get them beforehand. Okay, so
that means BUGSY is laughing at you. User error.
Is this a valid POGO? Valid POGO. Any? What would be interesting to see on this one?
We're getting no's and yeses coming in interspersed, a bit more yeses, a lot more yeses, bit of no's, yes, no, low probability. I think some people are hedging their bets here.
Okay. All right, guys. It is. Is it a POGO I would take? No. Is it a POGO Matt would take? Probably yes. Matt is a very successful trader. He has a high success rate. Just goes to show, right? It just goes to show it's probably not the ideal one that I would take, but some people will. So I just want you to understand this. It's like there's no binary here. So what did you laugh at?
Kevin said Kevin would take it. Tell him I said it's a likely story. Give it to the jury.
Is that a BUGSY, guys? Is that valid BUGSY?
Yeah, a combination. Mostly yeses, couple of no's. Looks like the eyes have it at this stage.
Yeah, I would say it's a valid BUGSY. Yep, I would. Okay, is that a valid POGO? What do you guys think?
The no's are in the lead.
No.
Staying their way.
Cool. No. What about this one? Is that a valid BUGSY?
A lot of no's still coming in.
Cool. And this, we got that one twice. We've already done that one.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we did.
Don't tell them that.
Oh no, we didn't. Is this valid? Is this valid? I don't know if we did or not, actually.
Getting lots of no's, smash no's, yeses, lots of no's, some yeses, confusion reigns supreme.
Yeah, it is actually valid. It is. Again, it's like, is it the high probability? It is valid though. It is valid. Again, it goes to show it is definitely you've got one cycle, you've got another cycle, and you have another cycle. So it definitely is valid, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's definitely valid. What about this one?
Okay, so we're getting some no's, some more no's, some more no's, some more no's.
Yeah, it's not. It's broken trend. So you got one cycle, another cycle, but it's broken trend. It's broken that low. Okay, so it's no longer trending. This one? What do you think?
So far the no's are higher than the yeses.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. What do you think? Kevin, would you take that one?
The high pool licenses.
Yeah. So it depends on it depends on how you'd see that cycle. Do you actually see that as a cycle, or do you see that overall movement as a cycle?
Yeah, Michael Chris is the double top links. No.
Yeah. So again, Michael, that I absolutely know that's not Michael. You're very clear about the cycles that you want to take, and anything like that, or some of the other ones, you wouldn't. And that's important for you to stick with that. Is this a BUGSY setup? Now it's getting easy.
Yeah, a lot of yeses coming in.
Yeah.
We're too kind to them.
Valid BUGSY.
You should have put the art farm question there. They all got that wrong.
Did they all get it wrong?
No, a lot of people got the art farm, but I made it too easy for that.
Okay, right. It's not. Okay, Trey, what is this chart telling you? This is important. What is this chart telling you?
Your funds about to block some off.
Yeah, it's ringing. What's this chart telling you? Anything?
Trade managers on no direction, T and BUGSY. Trade manager set to BUGSY on GBP CAD, Stelios.
Yes, so.
Trade manager, Kim Grattan as well, Joseph. Yep, so a couple have got it right.
So trade manager is set to strategy and symbol. Okay, because remember with trade manager, you can get it to set, you can set it at strategy level or symbol level or both. So this is at BUGSY and symbol instrument. Make sense? What is the chart telling you here? What's it telling you here? Trade manager set to all trades. Now guys, we're nearly finished, but what I want you to do is I want you to know that there are guys out there, there are members in the tribe who are getting a very high success rate or are being profitable, who are being consistently profitable. There are members of the tribe who've reached target every month this year so far. This was Anthony Dans. I've spoken to him quite a lot. I've spoken about him quite a lot today. His equity curve, 75% success rate. He sends me his graphs every month, and they go between 75 and 85% success rate. So if you know that by staying present and reframing your perceptions associated with past experiences, this is where I want you to go and watch that fear-based presentation in the GTM. If you know that by staying present and reframing your perception associated with past experiences, you can access limitless opportunities in the quantum field. That is important. Why would you choose to live subordinated to your past, ensuring that you are essentially keep creating the same for your future? That's essentially what you do. So if you're going to keep on judging your past experiences in trading based on your future, why are you doing that? When you can actually literally reframe it in a moment, in an instant, and allow yourself to go forward. It's very important. If you're dealing with uncertainty, persistent inconsistency, or if you constantly feel like you're not living your best life, then you are most likely dealing with the effects of judgmental perceptions that have kept you contracted. These perceptions will keep you locked in scarcity, lack, and fear, and will literally have you living at 10% of your potential. 10%. That is what judgmental living will do. So if you're living based on your fears associated with lopsided perceptions or unbalanced judgments on past experiences, you are living to 10% of your potential. If you understand that the law of cause and effect, you will understand how truly powerful you are. You'll also understand how perpetually trying to fix or change the effect that creates your outcome will lead to more of the same. The opposite to creation is not destruction, it's justification. Because we're not getting the results we would love, we keep on trying to change, like be disciplined or be motivated and all that sort of stuff. All you're trying to do is change the effect. And after a while, you'll stop trying to change the effect and you'll just justify. And you will justify why you're stuck in the stuck position that you are in. The strategy is not profitable. I don't have time. These are just justifications of the effect.
deal with the cause, everything changes. And that is why when we end up with, we're consistently getting more of the same results when we just keep trying to change the effect, we end up justifying. Only when we look at the cause does anything actually change. It's in our power to alter this outcome by owning the cause. It is the moment by moment choices that we make that may be uncomfortable, that may be cumbersome even, that will impact and shape and reframe the physical makeup of your brain and your body. I want you to listen to what I'm going to say here now. It's very important. Giving you the sense of expansion, being inspired, a state of balance, poise, and appreciation. This by default allows you to lock into limitless opportunities in the quantum field. The effect being that you are there already. The results then will follow naturally. That's why I say get the mindset right, trading follows. Okay, this is extremely important. Yes, the slides, I'll make these part of the PDF. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. When you put yourself into that state, understanding that you can reframe anything, that you're the cause of your effect, and you start taking responsibility and ownership on that cause, putting yourself into that physical state, you start rewiring your brain, you start biologically putting yourself into a different state, and already you're in that quantum field of limitless possibilities. There you will be able to sort of play the dance with the universe and cherry pick what it is you would love, including the trades that are winners, giving you a high success rate. Okay, you're already there. The results follow. Cause and effect. Does that make sense? Essentially, living your future self right now. Instead of obsessing about some event that you fear or it's in your future, based on your experience of the past, focus on a new desired experience that you would love. Focus on that. Don't focus on what you're fearing. Don't focus on what you're stressing. Don't focus on what you perceive may happen based on perceptions of the past. Instead of feeling fear, stress, or negativity, whenever you think of money, rewire your mind to see money as your friend, as a valuable tool to use and empower you. Allow yourself to live in that potential new future now. The extent of which you have clarity of that future you and your future life is the extent of which you will create. The extent of which you have clarity of your vision will be the extent of which your mind and body begins to believe that you are that new future outcome in the present moment. Make sense? Does that make sense, everybody? When you break through the perceived barriers of how much you're worth and are capable of earning, your self-worth and deserving, you create a lifestyle where you always have more than enough to live the life on your terms to the fullest extent of your potential. I've seen it. What I have seen, literally, guys, what many would call miracles happen when people step into this way of living. This month alone, you know, guys, many of you actually know this. My moonshot, and it's something that I want to cover with you guys actually, is to have a moonshot, have a massively transformed, as Peter Diamandis is one of my heroes. If you've never read any of his stuff, I strongly recommend it. He's just amazing. Peter Diamandis. One of his things is we need, he says, to have a massively transformative purpose. What I call a moonshot. I know you guys know what my moonshot is. Most of you know what my moonshot is. It's $1 million+ to millionaire status. Well, this month alone, 2 of my clients got there already. Okay. One was broken a couple of years ago. He was broken. He was literally, I mean, he was so angry. He had lost everything. He was so miserable, in debt, and literally lashing out at the world. And today I have watched his life transform. I've watched his life transform to a life of empowerment, living life on his terms with financial security, right through now, financial independence. I've watched these miracles happen. They happen. It's a choice. It's a moment by moment choice. When you start reframing how you perceive things, when you start living based on the clarity of your vision going forward, not hindering yourself or subordinating yourself to perceptions or lopsided perceptions of past experiences, when you start living what it is you would love going forward, stop focusing on the contracted experiences. Start reframing them, giving you the freedom that you deserve. I cannot tell you, I mean, it's just like, sometimes it is, people call these things miracles when they're not. It's physics. It's simple a choice. When you make that choice, everything changes. And many of you guys know and seen my own past experiences, how I have actually physically demonstrated that myself, and I'm demonstrating it with my clients. Because I was just saying to them now, Tanya, there's 2 guys this month.
Yeah.
2 guys have got to that millionaire status this month, 2 of my clients. So guys, with the trading club, before I wrap up, with Trading Club, it will be opening up for renewals shortly. We only keep it, we only open it once a year, and we keep it really small. Around about 50 people in it at a time. The people who are in the Trading Club right now, they will have first option whether they want to renew or not. Now, so far, most people do. Okay, but if you would love to get on the wait list, if you're not in the club, you have to get on your wait list, get onto the wait list now. Okay, so we'll be opening it in about a month's time, I think, around about then. So in the Trading Club, you get an extra set of licenses. You get everything. Some people who are not a TIP member, you get everything that's in the TIP, including the GTM. Monthly deep dive mentor session, way deeper than we go to in other ways. 2-day boot camp. In addition, this year, what I'm introducing is a 1-year tech intensive. Okay, so normally the tech intensive is just 3 months. We'll be doing it for the whole year. So the tech intensive is where I go through every 2 weeks, valid setups, and then you send me your trade reports every 2 weeks, and then we get together and we go through all the valid setups, and you start learning what it is that, what setups were valid, what were not. And guys, the guys who've been doing it with me for a while now, their trading has transformed. They're getting 85% success rate. They're getting 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and sometimes 100% month after month. Okay, this is the most powerful, and that's why I'm adding it in this year for the first time. So it is going to be part of the Trading Club for the year. So every 2 weeks, we'll be doing this for the year. I can think of nothing more powerful. And anyone who was at the last 2-day boot camp, this is going to be amazing. Tony, do you want to post that?
No.
If you want to get into the Trading Club, now's time to get onto that wait list. Okay, as I said, at the moment we have about 54 people. We don't take more than that. Try and keep it small, intimate, and it is very powerful. Anyone in the club loves it? Who loves the club here? Everybody loves the club. Okay, I'm also going to be doing another thing, Wealth Builders, and this is for only people who are already in the club. They can only apply. It's only for 6 to 8 people. Okay, I'll be opening that soon as well. So anyone who wants to join that, I will be letting you know shortly. I'm keeping it only for 6 to 8 people, and you have to be already in the club. So it's only for people who are in the club right now. So you will get access to the club as well. We will do a 3 to 4 day retreat in Italy, including accommodation and food. We'll do 2 live masterminds in the year. We'll do monthly mastermind calls, and we'll also do a family wealth or generational wealth building and relationship retreat as well. So it's taking wealth building to a whole new level. As I said, I know a thing or two about that, and I know what works for people. So that's it on my side. Are there any questions? So guys, if you seriously, this is the Wealth Builders. Again, I'm not 100% stuck on that name yet. It might change, but I will be letting you know. Again, it's just for people who are in the club already, and we're keeping it just for 6 or 8 people because we want to keep it really intimate. You'll come out to Italy, stay in our place in Italy, and it'll be great. And the Trading Club, if you want to get in, make sure you get onto the wait list, because without doubt that will get snapped up when we open for renewals. It did last year as well. So any questions, guys? That's as much as I've got for you.
Can I just repeat, or can you just repeat for my sake to the really, really new guys? I see some guys came on a little bit late. Or should I just say?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. Am I still on?
Yeah, you just ended the slides. You're still on. Just end the show.
I'm trying to.
Stop the show.
Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Oh, it's not wanting to stop it. There we go.
There we go. And your PC has died.
No, it'll come back now.
You should rather use a decent machine.
Okay.
It's still not stopped the share.
Stop share.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. All right, guys. For all the really new guys who've joined us in the last week or so, so Bill, Russell, Peter, I've sent you multiple emails. Okay, some of you got back to me. Your VPSs are all set up. I've sent you the next steps. I know I'm waiting for Skype names from some of you and for demo and or live accounts. But what I have done is I've sent you the next steps. There's two main actions. One is to book a setup walkthrough with Matt. Your VPSs are ready, or as ready as we can get them with the demo, the account numbers you've given us. So that's the one thing. The other thing is to click on the link, which is basically so we can get to know you, answer a couple of questions, give us some info. And then at the end of that, you also get to sign up for a call with one of the coaches. So an onboarding call, okay, who will really help you with what the next steps are and answer any questions. So if you can make sure you look for that. Sometimes emails go to your spam folder or your junk box. So please go have a look through those. If you can't find them, let me know. Okay, you can email support@tribeoftraders.servicecamp.com, or if you're really battling, pop something in one of the Skype groups. I'll pick it up there. But get that done. Get yourself linked up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me. And if for any reason you guys have sent to Service Camp and I've not got back to you, it might have happened during the downtime. It might not have come through.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's that?
Elephant juice.
Elephant juice. Yes, yes. So if that's the case, please resend or just reach out through one of the many forums. Let's make sure you get everything you need. Okay, guys. Cool.
All right. Yeah. There was something I wanted to say and I can't remember. Lily, no. First option now, guys who are already in the tribe, in the trading club. So you do not need to get on the wait list. If you're already in the club, you do not need to get onto the wait list because you guys will get notified. Okay.
Right. So Mark Slade, still waiting my t-shirt. Guys, that's another thing. We finally got the fulfillment and all the t-shirts and everything else sorted out. Okay. So everything has been dispatched. Okay. But that only went out earlier this week. All right. So Amanda's now running that and the actual fulfillment house is all up to speed. So you should be getting it. Okay. Keep your eye on the post. If you've not received anything in the next week or two, and I'm not talking about South Africa.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Sorry. But yeah, if you're waiting for your tip packs, the guys have been waiting a while during lockdown. They've all been dispatched. Okay. So sorry about that wait, but there was not much we could do. We kept being messed around with our t-shirt providers. Yep, cookbooks and journals, well. Everything's
gone.
Everything's gone. So full packs have been sent out. We're not expecting any delays going forward because we fully stocked up, and yeah.
Yeah, everything's
all
cool.
good.
Sweden is waiting. It'll come. All right, guys, take care. Have a lovely evening. And again, sunflower. Excellent. Also, we'll do this again in a few weeks' time, okay? And we'll talk about something slightly different. We'll talk more about scaling, stalking, and trade manager as well. Okay, take care, guys. Lots of love.